As usual, Las Vegas bookmakers quickly established point spreads for each of the 4 NFL playoff games this weekend. The higher seed, which is also the home team, is the favorite in 3 of the 4 games. No stunner there. And then there is the Atlanta-Philadelphia game. That spread practically glows on the page. Keeping in mind that much of this is based off word of mouth and other data that is far from comprehensive, it appears that this game is getting significantly more early action than the rest. The international betting expert Jim Murphy of sportsbettingexperts.com wrote in an email, "Several of my sportsbook sources said that as of Tuesday night, they had 5 times more money wagered on Atlanta-Philadelphia than any other game." Yes, he really did write 5 times. There is an asterisk, but we will get to that shortly. This is an interesting game because the Falcons were made 2-point favorites late Saturday night to beat the Eagles, who had the best record in the NFC and are playing at home. Since the NFL went to a 12-team playoff format in 1990, no one seed has been an underdog in its first playoff game. This spread, which stretched to 3 points to entice more betting on the Eagles, makes sense in so many ways. The Eagles lost quarterback Carson Wentz, an MVP candidate, to a season-ending knee injury. 10 and were far from impressive in their last 3 games. The Falcons and quarterback Matt Ryan have won 4 of their last 5 games. Ryan took the Falcons to the Super Bowl last year. The operative phrase there is early action. Murphy wrote, "Typically, recreational players bet late in the week all the way up until game time. Sharps, those who bet with their heads and not their hearts, and professional bettors bet when they have the greatest tactical advantage. In this case, there is no real advantage for a sharp player to get down now on either side. He's got the luxury of waiting and seeing how the line movements play out." But he added, "There has been a lot of media coverage of the Eagles' historical point spread role, and that's definitely driving much of the early action on the game. My hunch is that by the time the weekend is over, all 4 divisional playoff games will be very close in terms of action." The Falcons-Eagles spread has already captured a lot of attention just for what it suggests about the Eagles' chances. Philadelphia offensive tackle Lane Johnson told reporters Tuesday that the Eagles are motivated by the fact that they won't be expected to accomplish much without Wentz. The fact that Philadelphia is the first No. 1 seed to be a home dog in their opening playoff game is an interesting bit of trivia, but little more. Murphy wrote, "Like every other sport, the NFL has changed and evolved both on and off the field. Given the emphasis on parity and the difficulty of establishing a dynasty in today's league, it was likely inevitable that this situation would occur. Bookmakers don't pick winners as much as they try to attract balanced betting on each side." Murphy said a point spread represents a bookmaker's prediction on what the betting public thinks about the game. There is a confluence of factors that have influenced the public opinion here. Murphy wrote, the most significant being the public's, recreational players, tendency to overreact to injuries. The higher profile the injury, the greater the reaction, and for that matter the overreaction. The public views losing a starting quarterback as a veritable death sentence for a team. Nick Foles, a former Eagles starter reacquired in the offseason, is replacing Wentz. After Wentz was hurt, Foles helped the Eagles beat the Rams and did well in a victory over the New York Giants, but then scuffled in games against Oakland and Dallas. Given the circumstances, I don't really see how you could hope to get balanced action on this game without making the Falcons favorites in this price range. Murphy wrote, from the bookmaker's perspective, this isn't a vote of confidence for Atlanta but an effort to make Philadelphia more attractive to bettors. Had Philadelphia opened as a favorite or a pick, and the media would have been focusing on the drop-off from Wentz to Foles. In that situation, It would be hard for recreational players and sharps money to not take the Falcons plus the points. In my view, the fact that there's something of a media controversy over the line is validation of my previous point. There is no obvious play for either pros or recreational players. There's a case to be made for each side for a variety of reasons, and that will likely result in fairly even action when all is said and done.